Good morning or good afternoon, football fans. Big Al here on this Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, and welcome to the rest of the Week 9 injury report from across the National Football League. They have just announced actives and inactives at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so that was about 41 minutes ago as I'm recording this. And there are some big names that will play today and some more that will not. So let's jump into the Week 9 injury report. Of course, this is excluding Texans and Jets since they played Thursday night. So we are going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. For the Dallas Cowboys, quarterback DaRon Bland is out with a foot. Quarterback Trayvon Diggs is questionable with a calf, but he will play today. Defensive tackle Linval Joseph is questionable with a back. Linebacker Eric Kendricks questionable with a shoulder. Guard Zach Martin also questionable with a shoulder. Defensive end Micah Parsons is out today with an ankle. Defensive tackle Jordan Phillips is out with a wrist. And linebacker Nick Vigil is questionable with a foot. Another key name for the Dallas Cowboys that will not be playing is Ezekiel Elliott. He missed a meeting earlier this week, and because of that, he will sit out this game as a healthy scratch. For the Atlanta Falcons, linebacker Troy Anderson is questionable with a knee. Linebacker J.D. Bertrand is out with a concussion. Safety Drew Dalman is questionable with an ankle. Guard Chris Lindstrom is questionable with a knee. And defensive end Ruke Orhorhoro is out with an ankle. On to the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. We'll start with the visiting Broncos. There are only two players listed. Safety P.J. Locke out with a thumb. Safety Delavan Turner-Yelly is also out with a knee injury. And for the Ravens, running back Rasheen Ali is out still with an ankle. Cornerback Jalen Armour-Davis is questionable with a knee. So is cornerback Marlon Humphrey, but I'm expecting him to play today. Defensive tackle Travis Jones is questionable with an ankle. Running back Keaton Mitchell is questionable with a knee. And defensive end Brent Urban is out with a concussion. On to the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. We'll start with New Orleans. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore is out with a hamstring. That's a big loss for that secondary. Guard Shane Lemieux is questionable with a knee. Cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry is out with a hamstring. Wide receiver Bob Means is out with an ankle. Running back Kendre Miller is out with a hamstring. Cornerback Rico Payton questionable with a back injury. Defensive tackle John Ridgeway is questionable with an oblique. Guard Nick Saldiveri is questionable with a shoulder. Linebacker Nafai Sewell is questionable with a knee. And running back Jamal Williams is doubtful with a groin. For the Carolina Panthers, running back Jonathan Brooks is questionable with a knee. Defensive tackle Jaden Crumedy is doubtful with an ankle. Tackle Ikem Ekwonu is out with an ankle. Tight end Felipe Franks is out with a concussion. Safety Jordan Fuller is doubtful with a hamstring. Linebacker DJ Johnson is questionable with an ankle. Wide receiver Xavier Legette is questionable with a toe. Safety Jammie Robinson is out with a knee. Wide receiver Adam Thielen, who is a topic of trade talks recently, he's doubtful today with a hamstring. Tight end Tommy Tremble is questionable with a back. And linebacker DJ Wonnum is questionable with a quad. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. First off, for the Dolphins, wide receiver River Craycraft is questionable with a shoulder. Cornerback Storm Duck is questionable with an ankle. Tight end Julian Hill is out with a shoulder. Safety Javon Holland is doubtful with both a hand and a knee. Fullback Alec Ingold is questionable with a calf. Cornerback Kader Kohou is out with a neck injury. And defensive tackle Zach Sealer is out with an eye injury. For the Bills, quarterback Christian Benford is questionable with a wrist. Wide receiver Amari Cooper is questionable with a wrist, but he will not play today. Fullback Reggie Gilman is out with a hip. Make that Reggie Gilliam. Sorry about that. And wide receiver Curtis Samuel is questionable with a pec injury. Washington Commanders, New York Giants. We'll start with the Commanders, which only has two names. Tackle Cornelius Lucas is out with an ankle. Running back Brian Robinson is questionable with a hamstring, but he will not play this afternoon. Alright, Noah TF 2024 and Damon Phillips. What's up, guys? Alright, Damon wants to know about the Bills. Christian Benford has a wrist. He's questionable. Amari Cooper will not play, although he's listed as questionable with a wrist. And Reggie Gilliam is out with a hip. Plus, Curtis Samuel, he's questionable with a pec injury. Alright, on to the New York Giants. Wide receiver Bryce Ford Wheaton is doubtful with an Achilles. Punter Jamie Gillen is out with a right hammy. Place kicker Greg Joseph will be out for quite some time. He has an abdomen injury. And linebacker Ty Summers is questionable with an ankle. Moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders and Cincinnati Bengals. We'll start with Vegas. Only one player out, and that's center Andre James with an ankle. Guard Dylan Parham with a foot, linebacker Robert Spillane with a knee, and running back Zamir White with a quad are all listed as questionable. And for the Bengals, tackle Orlando Brown is doubtful with a knee and a fibula. Wide receiver T. Higgins is doubtful with a quad. Wide receiver Charlie Jones questionable with a groin. Running back Zach Moss doubtful with a neck. And safety Geno Stone is questionable with a shin. Alright, on to the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. Starting off with the Patriots. Cornerback Alex Austin's questionable with an ankle. So is safety Kyle Duggar. He's also questionable with an ankle. Linebacker Christian Ellis is questionable with an abdomen. Guard Mike Jordan is questionable with an ankle. Tackle Vidarian Lowe is questionable with an ankle and a shoulder. Quarterback Drake May questionable with a concussion, but it looks like he will start for the Patriots today. Otherwise, we would have been seeing Jacoby Brissett under center. Defensive tackle Jacqueline Roy is questionable with a neck, and linebacker Sion Taki is questionable with a knee. For the Tennessee Titans, cornerback Trey Every questionable with a shoulder, or rather questionable with a hamstring. Wide receiver Tyler Boyd is questionable with a shoulder. Safety Amani Hooker questionable with a groin. Quarterback Will Levis questionable with a right shoulder. But it looks like we'll be seeing Mason Rudolph again. I don't expect Levis to play. Running back Tony Pollard is questionable with a foot. Tackle Dylan Radness is questionable with a foot as well. Tackle Andrew Rupchich is out with triceps. Cornerback L'Jarius Sneed is out with a quad. Running back Tajay Spears also out with a hamstring. Defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat is questionable with a hip. And tight end Josh Wiley is questionable with an illness. LA Chargers, Cleveland Browns. Let's move to the Chargers. Defensive end Joey Bosa, questionable with a hip. Wide receiver DJ Chark, questionable with a groin, but I doubt he'll play. Cornerback Christian Fulton is out with a hamstring. Linebacker Denzel Perryman is questionable with a toe. Wide receiver Brandon Rice is out with a shoulder. And tight end Stone Smart with 2 T's. He's doubtful today with an ankle. And for the Browns, not much to talk about here. Linebacker Jordan Hicks is out with an elbow and a triceps. Linebacker Khalil Hudson is questionable with an ankle. Linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is out with a neck. And cornerback Denzel Ward is questionable with a concussion. Moving on to the late games, beginning with the Chicago Bears at the Arizona Cardinals, and Chicago's got a lot of names on their injury report. Tackle Kareem Amegadjle something. It's Amegadjle. I don't know how to pronounce that. He's out today with a calf. They always give me these names that trip me up. Center Ryan Bates is questionable with a shoulder. Tackle Larry Borom is questionable with an ankle. Safety Jaquan Brisker is out with a concussion. Cornerback Kyler Gordon questionable with a hamstring. Then you got a couple of tackles back to back with Tevin Jenkins with a knee. He's questionable. And Braxton Jones also with a knee. He is out. And defensive end Montez Sweat is questionable with a shin injury. Tyrique Stevenson has been demoted for this week's game after the stunt he pulled during the end of the Commanders game last week. So we will not be seeing Tyrique Stevenson today. For the Arizona Cardinals, cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting is questionable with a neck. Defensive tackle Naquan Jones is questionable with a thigh. Defensive tackle Roy Lopez is questionable with an ankle. Defensive tackle Darius Robinson out with a calf. And tackle Jonah Williams also out with a knee injury. Jacksonville Jaguars, Philadelphia Eagles. Will start with the Jags. Running back Tank Bixby is questionable with an ankle, but I'm expecting him to play today. Guard Ezra Cleveland is out with an ankle. Wide receiver Gabe Davis is questionable with a shoulder. Running back Travis Etienne is questionable with a hamstring. Wide receiver Christian Kirk with that collarbone, he's out for the season. Running back Keelan Robinson is questionable with a toe. Guard Brandon Sheriff is questionable with a knee. Defensive tackle Mason Smith is out today with an ankle. Sorry. Wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. is questionable with a chest, but all signs point to him playing today against the Eagles. And safety Andrew Wingard is questionable with a knee. Only 2 players out today for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're both big contributors on both sides of the ball. Offensively, there will be no tight end Dallas Goedert. He's out once again with a hamstring. And on defense, we'll be missing Darius Big Play Slay. The veteran cornerback is out today with a groin injury. Whew. Sorry about that. Okay, LA Rams, Seattle Seahawks. We'll start with the LA Rams. Safety Cameron Curl is questionable with a knee. Punter Ethan Evans out today with an illness. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore is out with a shoulder. Wide receiver Puka Nacua is questionable with a knee, but it looks like he'll be playing. Tackle Joe Noteboom is out with an ankle. Wide receiver Jordan Whittington is questionable with a shoulder. And cornerback Charles Woods is questionable with a toe. For the Seahawks, tight end Noah Fant out today with a groin. Linebacker Ernest Jones is questionable with a neck. Tackle Abraham Lucas is out with a knee, and so is wide receiver DK Metcalf. He's also out with a knee. And the same for defensive tackle Cameron Young. He's also out with a knee problem. Lions and Packers, will start with Detroit. Defensive tackle Broderick Martin is out with a knee. Defensive end Joshua Paschal is out with an illness. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez is out with an ankle. Running back Sloan Vaki is doubtful with a knee. And defensive tackle Mekhi Wingo is doubtful with an ankle. For the Green Bay Packers, cornerback Jair Alexander is questionable with a knee. Cornerback Corey Ballantyne is questionable with an ankle. Running back Josh Jacobs is questionable with an ankle, but he will play. Same for quarterback Jordan Love. He's questionable with a groin, but he's expected to play this afternoon. Safety Josh Myers is doubtful with a wrist. And safety Evan Williams is out with a hamstring. Indianapolis Colts, Minnesota Vikings later on tonight. Only 2 names listed for the Colts. Defensive end Kwity Paye is questionable with a hamstring. And tackle Bernard Raymond is out with a concussion. And for the Vikings, linebacker Blake Cashman out once again with a toe. Cornerback Caleb Evans is questionable with a hip. Guard Dalton Reisner is questionable with a back. And defensive tackle Taki Taumani, he's out with an ankle. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow on Monday Night Football. We'll start with the extensive list for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Long snapper Evan Deckers is out with a hamstring. Wide receiver Mike Evans also out with a hamstring. Defensive tackle Greg Gaines is also out. He has a calf injury. Running back Bucky Irving is questionable with a toe. Wide receivers Jalen McMillan and Sterling Shepard are both questionable with hamstrings. Safety Tyke Smith is questionable with a concussion. And safety Antoine Winfield Jr. is also questionable with a foot. And for the Chiefs, defensive end Michael Dana will be missing another game. He's out with a pec. Quarterback Nazeez Johnson is out with a concussion. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster is out with a hamstring. And tight end Jarrett Wiley is out with a knee. And that is a look at your Week 9 NFL injury report, as we are now about a half hour away from the first games of the day getting started. Alright, we'll be taking a look at the latest college football rankings tomorrow, as we'll be looking at both the AP and coaches polls. But this Tuesday, we will also have the college football playoff rankings. If I don't go live on Tuesday night, I will definitely be on here Wednesday morning and give you the lowdown on the first college football playoff rankings of 2024. That's coming either Tuesday night or I'll record it live on Wednesday. So either way, join me for all of that. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. And again, a big shout out to everyone who has subbed to this point. I appreciate every last one of you. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.